Let's start by understanding what oral sex is. Oral sex is when a person uses their lips, tongue, or mouth to kiss, lick, or stimulate their partner's private parts. Now, the question is simple. What are the disadvantages of oral sex? I want to divide this into two categories. First, physical harm. Second, spiritual and moral harm. Science clearly proves the first category. Science shows how oral sex can affect the body. The second category, the spiritual and moral side, is not something science measures. And the reason is simple. Science studies the human body like a system. It studies organs, infections, and diseases. It does not study culture. It does not study dignity. It does not study morality or spiritual values. I am not against science. If I were, I would not be a doctor. But we must understand what science does and what it does not do. Science focuses on the body. It does not define character. So let's begin with the physical risks. Oral sex can spread many of the same infections that are transmitted through sexual contact. The list is long. I'll mention some major ones. HPV, human papillomavirus, is one of them. This virus can enter through the mouth during oral sex. It can infect the lips, mouth, and throat. Studies have linked HPV to cervical cancer in women and throat cancer in both men and women. HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, can also be transmitted through oral sex. Other infections include gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, pubic lice, hepatitis A, B, and C. Some of these infections are serious. Some can even be life-threatening. Many people think oral sex is harmless. They think it's safe fun. But sometimes a few minutes of pleasure can lead to long-term health consequences. This is not just opinion. Medical research supports this. Now let's talk about the second category, the moral and spiritual side. As human beings, we have the ability to rise above our impulses. We can choose discipline. We can choose values. We can choose self-control. Or we can choose to follow only physical desire. Animals eat, drink, sleep, and reproduce. Humans do the same things. So what makes us different? The difference is supposed to be awareness, morality, and purpose. Animals do not think about dignity or higher meaning. Humans can. The concern here is that when sex becomes only a physical tool, just a way to satisfy desire, it becomes purely biological. In that mindset, the higher side of a person is ignored. Think about this. The same private areas we carefully wash after using the restroom are the same areas involved in this act. That should at least make a person pause and think. Is a few moments of pleasure worth crossing personal boundaries? Yes, oral sex can bring pleasure. That's true. But pleasure is not the only factor in making decisions. Every harmful behavior may have some temporary benefit, and even good choices may come with difficulty. But strong character means choosing what strengthens you in the long run. We should ask ourselves, does this action build dignity or weaken it? Does it strengthen the relationship or reduce it to physical satisfaction? Many women have said, "Doctor, please explain this to my husband. I am not comfortable, but he insists." There are also men who feel pressured because it has become normalized. Some people say, just stay clean. Hygiene makes it safe. Cleanliness is important, but it does not remove all risk. There is no product in the world that makes the human body completely infection-free. Today, many behaviors are promoted by highlighting small benefits while ignoring bigger risks. For example, you may hear that small amounts of alcohol are good for you. but you rarely hear about long-term liver damage. In the same way, pleasure is emphasized while consequences are minimized. So remember this, even with hygiene, risk exists. Physical harm is real, and for some people, moral or emotional conflict is real too. My goal is not to force you. My goal is to encourage you to think carefully. Think about your health. Think about your character. Think about your values. Make informed decisions. If you want to study this more, there are many medical resources available. And if you have questions, you can always ask. Thank you.